You are once again welcome to Evangelist Imakalo TV, Treasury of Excellent Knowledge. I am your serviceable servant, Evangelist Imakalo. This is part 25 of Prioritizing Godliness, and the caption is Having God's Rescue. Having God's Rescue. The text, 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 9, which says, "Then the Lord knows how to rescue the godly from temptation, and to keep the unrighteous under punishment for the day of judgment." Having God's rescue is one of the inheritances of the righteous. And the righteous is someone who prioritizes godliness, someone who puts God and the things of God first in his or her life. The people, it can be a singular person, it can be millions of people. All of the people who do this, they are the righteous. I'm talking about those who really practice what I am saying. It is not about just believing in it or confessing it. It is about being practical with putting God and his things first. God's rescue is one of their inheritance. Let me read the Bible quotation again. 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 9 said, Then the Lord knows how to rescue the godly from temptation and to keep the unrighteous under punishment for the day of judgment. God knows how to rescue the godly from temptations. Temptations everywhere. Temptation is not always invited. Temptation emerge even though we are living in the world, and we are not of the world as the Christian believers. I mean the godly, not just the church members, not just the church attendees. I'm talking about the born-again Christians. Is that we are those who have become the true disciples of Jesus Christ. Though we are in the world and we are not a part of the world, however, we are living in the world. The world is full of temptations. Even though you do not want trouble, you see trouble coming to you. People bringing the trouble to you. At times, there are visible and invisible temptations. Spiritual ambush, physical ambush, evil plans of the enemies, of the adversary, of the oppressors, of the persecutors against the godly. All of these are temptations. There are people who are ungodly, they still have their own temptation. Nobody who exists in this world, as far as there is the influence of demonic spirit and the demonic activities, worldly activities, lustful activities, temptations will always rise. This is what Jesus Christ had known, and through his prayers, as he was teaching the disciples on how to pray, which is today called the Lord's Prayer, he said, lead us. So one of the prayer points is that we will pray, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. Jesus Christ is hereby praying about the divine rescue. And he said we should continue to pray that prayer, and that prayer should be a daily prayer point. It is our part to pray for it. It is our part to be sacred. It is our part to live to pleasing God, to doing the will of God. Then it is the part of God to rescue us both from sin and unseen temptations. One of the reasons the ungodly are trapped into temptation is because they will lose the presence of God. Sorry, they will lose the presence of God. The godly lose the presence of God. They lose the kind of favor God had for for the godly. The godly may not be regularly perfect, but the godly are those who have the attitude, who have the zeal, who have the ambition to live, to pleasing God, to do what God requires of all of us human beings. Those who allow God to take the lead of their life, of their ventures. These are the godly. So for the good effort, God gives us the grace. And the grace is that He comes for our rescue. He uses many means which we may know and the means which we may not know to always rescue us, because we become important in His kingdom. We become His vessels, because we become His agents. We become His tools for executing righteous service for the welfare of humanity in and outside of that church. So we become precious to God, and that is the reason God gives us the favor to care for us. So there is a special care, or there are special cares God has, or God exhibits to the righteous, to the godly, which He does not exhibit to the ungodly. And rescuing us from temptation is one of them. God's rescue, or divine rescue as it may be called, is an inheritance of the righteous, an inheritance of the godly. He said also that God reserved the ungodly. He reserved the ungodly, waiting for the day of judgment. He reserved the ungodly under punishment. Even while they are reserved, they will be under punishment. There are natural repercussions of sin, and there is God direct punishment for sin. This will be the tragedy of the sinners. This is the tragedy of the sinners. They continue to suffer in one way or the other, and they will never have the peace of mind. They will never enjoy tranquility, and they will begin to see that most of their efforts to enjoying life become a futility. So in the process, some of them get disappointed, they get frustrated in life. They may have the money, but they are not fulfilled in different ways. But the righteous have inner security, inner peace, that is emotional peace in every ramification. Things that bring panic in the life of the ungodly do not even move the godly at all, because God truly rescues us from temptations. So there are temptations that come to ungodly. It will consume their time, consume their energy, consume their money, consume a lot of things, and sometimes it may consume lives directly or indirectly. But God rescues the godly so that the godly do not have such nemesis, do not have such tragedy. He saves us so that we will continue to enjoy peace in Him and with Him. It is also important that as far as, or as much as God rescues us from temptations, may we take that as a leverage to developing ourselves, developing our skills, becoming great, not just sitting and watching the ungodly becoming great, legitimately and illegitimately. This is the time we are to wake up as a Christian, as the members of the kingdom of God, and to truly begin to manifest our kingly or priestly potencies. So may God bless you. Remember,